Hi, I'm Mary Hemsworth, and today I'm talking to Jennifer Jurgensen, the Director of Human Resources at Cameron House on the shores of Loch Lomond in Scotland. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Mary. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, and you. I'm delighted you're here. As part of our hospitality hiring trends and summary report, Caterer.com are taking the pulse of the industry to see what the current situation is and what challenges they're facing in recruitment and retention. We're also going to take a look at what the sector could do to attract more talent into the industry. So I think let's start with you telling us a little bit about Cameron House.
Okay, I'd love to. Yes, we're a 5-star resort on the southwest shores of Loch Lomond, so an amazing location. A very well-known Scottish brand in the 5-star market. Work to do, I think, across the UK, which is absolutely part of the strategy this year. But we're a big team. People don't realise how sizable we are. At the moment, we are just over 650 employees and growing as we look to open a bedroom extension and ballroom extension this year. So lots of scope for lots of very varied careers here at Cameron.
So in terms of the Scottish hospitality landscape, you are one of the really big players.
We are.
Your numbers.
We definitely are. And we offer such a variety of different careers across so many different areas. People often think of hotels as the traditional restaurant, bar, bedrooms, but we have such a host of different areas for guests, but that lends itself to lots of great hospitality careers as well, beyond the norm.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that I'm very interested to find out is how Cameron House has with attracting new talents. What are the current challenges you face with that?
Well, the very well documented issues with an inability to recruit from the EU now, meaning that all employers, hospitality and otherwise, are working from a much smaller pool of talent. So although we never recruited very widely internationally because of a lack of accommodation, the people that we did traditionally hire now have many more options. So that's a big issue for us currently. We also face the challenges that furlough and the pandemic has brought to us, where we saw a lot of our talent leave the industry. And that's seeing much fewer applications come through than traditionally we might have expected, because people have used the opportunity on furlough perhaps to explore other career options. Yeah, that has brought about much less candidates in the pool.
Can I pick up on something you said? You said that you recruit locally. So are you a major employer in the area of sort of Loch Lomond, Belochall, through that area?
We always have been very, very local in our recruitment. Traditionally, about 95% of our team come from a 10-mile radius. So most of the team at entry level are very, very local. Supervisors and managers we pull from further afield often, but you know we have got that real Scottishness about us, which is rare. Brings about a lot of challenge in terms of training, you know, and the need to really invest in often young people with no experience, but it does give a real Scottish flavour to the service that our guests offer, which we're very proud of.
I love that. I'm sure 95% of your employees come from within a 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
It's amazing. It's wonderful that you're able to fulfill your recruitment from that. And also, I would imagine that what you're doing is you're training from within. So you're bringing people in, training them, and then they're moving up the ladder.
There's the people tend not to be so geographically mobile where we're located, unlike London or the big cities where people come and go much more regularly. So it's through necessity as well that we have to identify great personalities and bring them in and train them. So that works both ways. But yeah, we're very focused on training, but also succession planning and making sure that there's a plan for people beyond the role that they're in. And they will work quite hard, and we're having to work faster on those progression plans as people become more impatient for progression. And you know, we've got to have our eye on the competition, because if we don't offer the promotion, the competition certainly will. So yeah,
that's true. We talked a little bit about recruitment. How about retention? What are the challenges you're facing around retention?
So I would say retention is very challenging. We saw more turnover than we expected last year. People, quite frankly, there's less etiquette around recruitment, I would say. We are guilty of it as well as our competitors, in that you'll do direct approaches much more readily, where before it would maybe be left to expensive recruitment agents to do that, but we're much more open to just reaching out to the talent we see around us, whether that's in person or online, and making those contacts to see if people are interested to come. We do this as well as the competition, contact recent leavers to make sure that the new job is working out, and if it's not, giving that option to come back and to work with us. All of these tactics, small though they are, can make a difference, particularly in the very, very hard to fill positions. So I'd say that's more commonplace. Counter offers is another huge challenge we face. So even where we've made the appointment, it's not in the bag until a person's actually here, because there's often counter offers by current employers to ensure that they hold on to the talent they've got, and we do that unashamedly as well. So retention is really hard. Salary scales are also unrealistic at times, what's offered versus the skills and experience that candidates sometimes have. I've seen junior managers being offered £6,000 or £8,000 more to move. And whilst it's very difficult to talk out any manager from that type of tempting job offer, but sometimes the skill set doesn't meet the salary, and you wonder how sustainable that is actually in the long run, as well as sometimes not meeting the other benefits and advantages of working in a big 5-star business like ours.
That was a really honest assessment of retention practices right now, and it's interesting because in the past I've spoken to other brands, and they have all admitted that building a talent pool and taking the steps that you have taken has, in the longer term, seeing their retention rise, because, and also reaching out to past leavers and bringing them back creates that essence of, oh, they're interested in me, they still care about me,
yep.
Important to them, and so it just keeps that connection warm. And
definitely
that clearly.
Yep, absolutely, and that's that. We invest so heavily in people's training. We often see people moving on at a point where it's right that they do, and we can offer the right thing at that time, but keeping that relationship strong, as you say, and of course tools like LinkedIn make that so easy that really it's shameful if you don't do that with your top talent that's moved on, so that you can keep abreast of their career development and where they might fit in the future. And also promote how much we've grown, because obviously people outgrow roles, but they might not have outgrown the business. There might be something further down the line in a different guise that we can offer them to come back. So this very proactive approach is, I think, one of the good things that's come through the need to work much harder and smarter at recruitment and retention.
You kind of answered my next question, was have you made any changes to your hiring processes in the light of everything that's been going on to attract, more talent to the business? Clearly, yes, is the answer to that one.
Most definitely. All the typical tools, we've sharpened our tools. We have an applicant tracker system now that went in last year. Without it, I don't know what we would do, because we'd be much too slow to react to the good candidates that come our way. We've drilled our management teams to really understand the need for speed and to be slick in their approach to recruitment. If you haven't contacted the candidate today, it might be too late. And also it's been a strategy to be really personable in the recruitment process, to bring it to life and make it human, rather than a big 5-star application process. You actually get to speak to Jennifer, and my mobile number has gone out in a lot of the recruitment PR, and you can basically call me if you want to just chat about any role at any time across Cameron House. And I think a lot of people don't like to chat, they prefer to email, but if you are somebody that wants to talk more before they apply, you can do that as well, which is a bit old school, but I think it works for some to make that initial approach.
I think it speaks to your culture. I think it
Yeah.
speaks to how the culture of Cameron House. It's about people and personality and being there and being approachable. Would you agree?
Definitely. We're all about looking after people, serving our guests and caring about our guests, and that interpersonal skill to be able to lift the phone and say, I'm not sure if that's for me, what do you think? Or I've got a real keen interest in this, but I have no experience in that. What would your advice be? Really goes a long way and helps, rather than one application and 600 that we might receive in a month, you're able to say, well, tell me a bit more about this and steer things in the right direction, which a computer can't, an online system can't do.
Agreed with that. Any of your benefit packages? You mentioned salary earlier in our chat. Have you done anything with your benefit packages to attract more talent?
I think we shout about them a lot more rather than keeping it a secret. We talk about it. We've done quite a few initiatives. So rather than enhance every benefit for, lots of different benefits for everybody, we've sort of honed into things like chef recruitment. So that's, at the moment, we've still got 25 vacancies across our 6 brigades. So there's a real challenge there. So things like a welcome bonus for chef de parties, where we would happily pay £1,000 to a great chef de party applying and being successful through the process. We've done targeted retention bonuses across Christmas and New Year, so that we had some confidence that anyone that was thinking about moving on wouldn't do so until after the middle of January. So we've put that in place. We have moved salaries upwards to remain competitive. We've always got to be fair across the board for like jobs is the other thing, unlike a smaller employer that can just decide to pay their sous chef, above market rate. We've got 8 sous chefs that it would need to apply to everybody to do. So there's always that consideration. So trying to make things fair and, importantly, sustainable as well, where we're increasing salary. Pensions, things that we've looked at, specific things through engagement surveys that people are saying are important to them, rather than the sort of glamorous, big hitting, benefits that sometimes hit the headlines. We're looking at much more of the core benefits and trying to improve that. But training and development, Mary, is absolutely where it sits with us. We've invested so much in that piece. So our introduction at every level coming into the business is a 3-day training programme called Clan Welcome. You'll appreciate we call the team the clan.
Yep.
And so that takes care of the first 3 days, whether you're the general manager that started last year or a kid with no work experience, whatever, coming in to do a part-time housekeeping job. You do 3 days of training that encompasses the need for teamwork, the need for exemplary guest service, and the third aspect of it is our environment, Loch Lomond side, actually all the facilities of the resort. So there's a day out where they have lots of fun across the road and get their bearings, because Cameron House is spread out over a huge 400 acres. So, just to understand how where everything is and everything interlinks. So that is absolutely paying dividends in the way people see us before they even start, and the knowledge they have and the confidence going onto the floor, and the understanding, which is so important to young people in particular, of what it is we're trying to achieve, which is unashamedly to be Scotland's best 5-star resort. So those 3 days happened for everybody, and we ran that 27 times last year, the 3-day programme. And aside from that, there was 15,000 hours of off-job training delivered, albeit it was a reopening, so there was lots of unusual stuff happening. But that equates to 3 full days of training off the floor for every employee, which is mammoth, actually. And that development piece, I've had lots of feedback that people are saying the fact that we shout so much about the training and development and offer is one of the reasons that people are attracted to come and work for us. And that's done through a lot of the online work that we do through the marketing department, just telling people what training we're doing with people. And it has quite a far reach. So that would definitely be one of my top tips to every hospitality business, is really to convey the opportunities that we offer beyond the job itself, but the ability to train, you know, and develop whilst you're with the industry across different disciplines and supervisory and management skills and competencies that can be developed through us in that.
I really like that, because as you say, lots of people are looking for the benefits as, like, you know, discount for holidays and hotels and you go as part of the brand. But actually what's far more valuable is the training and the development that they get, which will help them further their careers in hospitality, in Scotland or all over the world as they grow in their careers. And I think sometimes people don't put quite enough emphasis on that and the value of it. So I think that's amazing. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like that.
Good.
That's definitely. I have one more question for you. Well, I have questions for you, but this is sort of the final question of our chat. What do you think the hospitality industry could do to attract, should be doing maybe, to attract more talent to the sector?
One of the things that we've also done is think about how we can change our organisational structure a little bit as well, because, you know, the ideal is maybe not achievable in the same way as before. So a good example of this that we did last year, we had a fairly successful graduate management programme that we offered, but we ramped it up last year, really focused in on the environmental bit that's important as part of our values, but we talked about that much more and promoted it to mostly the Scottish universities and colleges. And we ended up inundated with applications for that beyond what we would see for other roles. We pitched it at supervisory level, but with an opportunity to get exposure to, you know, the management, aspects of the areas they were working in. So in short, we've got 8 phenomenal graduates on the programme that are still here after a very rocky 6 months of opening. And they're punching above their weight already in terms of what they are delivering in the departments that they're in. And they're really shoring up that supervisory and assistant manager level that's so lacking across various areas. And so if you'd asked me, without the challenge, would I have put in 8 graduates in 1 year? Probably not, because they're quite a lot to manage. But it's absolutely the way forward, and we're adding 2 more next month and another 4 positions in the summer, because we recognise that this is going really, really well. They're getting a lot from us, but in over 18 months, they should be able to take these assistant manager and head of department roles that aren't coming through any other route. And we might see some drop off in that, I'm sure we will, but if we keep at it, you know, that's definitely the way to go. We've also recruited more senior positions through necessity. We can't get that middle management level, so we've recruited more senior. And I think we've also been more creative at a junior level with gap year experiences and resort assistant seasonal programs that just tap into what people need to earn money, but then trying to tap into their specific interests as well and find a way to sell that to the management teams to make a difference and help with the operation. So being a bit more creative, I suppose, in the structure is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's in essence I think what I'm picking up is look at what you need and then work out a creative way of filling that gap. And as you said, it may be somebody who comes and works for the summer, but then it's how you continue and the experience that you give them when they're with you.
Yeah.
Makes them come back or makes them decide that hospitality is the place for them. So it's giving people the right experiences at the right time.
Yeah.
So choose hospitality as a career.
Yeah, most definitely.
Fantastic. Final question, top 3 tips for hospitality employers.
So the first one is most definitely enhance the training and development offer that you give and tell everyone about it. and really celebrate the success of the training and development that you do on social media and everywhere you can to make people, it's the age-old issue of breaking the stereotypes of the industry, which is low skill, low paid, long hours, which it can be, but mostly isn't with reputable employers, and offers such amazing hospitality careers with the right training. The second I would say is act fast and be prepared to be creative, think differently, and accept. I think we have to reach a level of acceptance that the candidates are not going to come if we always do what we always did, and be prepared to work forward from that. And the third, goodness, continue to treat the team well, build that culture within the great team that you've got. We were talking last week about exit interviews, and we've started doing catch-ups with people that aren't leaving, giving them the same ear and attention that you might with somebody that is leaving, but they're staying. So what is it about their job they love so much? Why are they staying? Why is that department really stable? And trying to do more of that rather than wait till the horses, the horses bolted. So yeah, just trying to build up that real culture where people are happy in their roles.
I love that, a reverse exit interview.
Yeah.
Jennifer, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up the chat?
I don't think so. I really don't think so, Mary.
That was fantastic.
Hopefully you can make that all sound cohesive and intelligent.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and I really appreciate it.
Be lovely to see you sometime. If you're ever passing, let me know.
I will be passing, I promise.